My Hebrew brothers and sisters, 12 tribes of Israel, scattered all over the earth, welcome back. This is your Moreh Yeshua Ben Uriah Israel. Those of you who recognize my face and never heard that name, you probably know me as Joshua Smith. That is my European name, my slave name. Now that I'm free, I take on a new name. Yeshua Ben Uriah Israel. Yeshua Ben. Okay, let me say this, that the Ben, it means son. I'm the son of Uriah. My father's name was Uriah. And then Israel. Okay, that's my Hebrew name. So don't be confused, okay? All right. So then, now we're starting again in Psalm 4, and we are at verse 4. Verse 4 said, and I'm reading from the King James Version, it says, "Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still," Selah, the end of the stanza. I want us to remember here that this psalm, David is making a request to Yahuwah. He's making a request. And the request in this evening psalm here is a request for Yahuwah to attend to his call. As we see in verse 1. If you remember in Psalm 3, David was running away from his son. And Psalm 4 is related to Psalm 3 in a sense, because David not only making the request to Yahuwah, he is also challenging the sinners, those who were going against him or going against Yahuwah. And he's trying to let them know that their victories is only temporary. Their victories is only temporary, my brothers and my sisters. Any enemy coming up against you, don't be alarmed, because if you are called by our Heavenly Father, Yahuwah, through his Son, Yahushua, if you are called by him, you have to suffer persecution, my brothers and my sisters. It's coming. If it's not there yet, it's coming. So gird yourself up and be prepared. Be prepared, because if you have not yet entered into this spiritual battle, it is nigh at hand. If you understand the term, hallelujah. It is nigh, it is near, my brothers and sisters. So here now, David is saying, okay? Remember, in verse 3, David said we have to know this, that Yahuwah has set apart those who are holy, are him who is holy. He set apart, and he set him apart for himself. He didn't set us apart just because, we're looking good. No. He did it, and he continued to do it for his own glory, for himself, so that we can be used of him. Okay, let us look in verse 4 there, because it said, standing up, in other words, tremble. To stand in awe here is have the idea of being, when you stand before him, you know, you're not just standing before a regular person. Tremble. And he said, do not sin. Do not sin. Do not allow anything to come between you and Yahweh. Sin means to miss the mark, going out of the way, going out of the way. And in verse 4, a little in the previous session, we did mention what sin is, okay? And sin is, the Hebrew word for sin, as we see there, is kata. Kata. And it means, to miss. Hence, or so figuratively or generally, to sin by inference. Okay? To sin by inference, to forfeit. Because you see what happened when we sin, we forfeit something. We forfeit something, my brothers and sisters. We expiate. Sin brings death. Not only physical death, but it also brings spiritual death. Okay? And it leads us astray. And, we need to understand that. We need to understand that. I mentioned some time ago that what sin does, when it want to kill you, right? That's what he want to do. Sin. The purpose of sin is to paralyze you, so that you cannot do the things that Yahuwah wants you to do. All right. So sin not. So he said, go on your bed. When you get in your bed, commune with your own heart. Okay, the word heart here is lebab. That's a Hebrew word, lebab. And it means, a matter of fact, let me tell you, lebab is made up of lamed, bet, and bet. 3 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. Lamed, bet, and bet. Bet is the second letter in the Hebrew alphabet. Okay. And he said the meaning of this is the heart, okay, as the most interior organ. All right, it's like your mind, you think, your mind, it's what makes you function, right, as a person. Of course, Yahuwah give you the soul, the breath, right? And so the just like the heart itself, physically, that beats, and they have to be beating us so many seconds per minute, so many, just keep beating. Your heart ought to be pumping blood out through the body, right? So it is the most central part. If the heart stops beating, you're dead, or you're dying. So that's so important. When you talk about the heart here, it's not just talking about the heart that pumps blood. The most interior organ is in the midst of everything. It says your mind, and not only so, but your understanding. Your understanding. So say, and your bed, he said you are to commune with your own heart up on your bed. And then he said, be still. Oh my goodness, be still. My brothers, it's put me in mind of Psalm 46, where it talks about the heathen rage and the earth move. And then he said, be still and know. Be still and know that Yahuwah is Yahuwah. He said that I am Yahuwah. I am Elohim. Be still and know that. In the King James Version, he talk about God. But let me tell you, God can be anything. God can be anything. God is a title. God is not his name. Be still and know that Yahuwah or Elohim is one. Like in the Shema, in Deuteronomy chapter 6, he said, hear, O Israel, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah is one. So be still. He said, you go on your bed and commune with your own heart. And he said, and be still. Don't get frightened and, get all out of whack. Things are not going the way you feel like it should go. Yahuwah is not going to take us out there and leave us. It's like, you have a trusted guide, right? You think that guide is trusted, and you're going to travel through the desert. And then, lo and behold, the guy changed his mind and said, well, you know what, I'm not going to go any further. I'm sorry, I'm leaving you. You're out there on your own. Yahuwah is not like that. No, my brothers and my sisters, Yahuwah is not like that. He's not like that. In verse 5, he said, offer the sacrifices of righteousness. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in Yahuwah. Put your trust in Yahuwah. In the King James Version, it said, put your trust in the Lord. But the word is Yahuwah. Put your trust in Yahuwah. Don't put your trust in men, because they're going to fail you. They are going to fail you big time. I've experienced that. I have experienced that. Then this is what it said here. In verse 5, it said, offer the sacrifices of righteousness. That's what it said here. And put your trust in Yahweh. Look at the word offer here, because offer is a pretty, big word. And the word is zabak. Zabak, the Hebrew word is zabak. And it's like you offering up a life. Well, we offer life sacrifices. We don't offer the sacrifices anymore. Like the life sacrifice that we offer is an example of what our cousin Paul said in Romans chapter 12, that I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahuwah, that you present your bodies as living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto which is your reasonable service. And he said, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove that which is good and acceptable, perfect will of Yahweh. My brothers and my sisters, my 15 minutes is gone. I'm going to ask you, we have to stop here, and we're going to ask you to be a blessing to someone today and walk with the King. Shalom.